Hi there, friends. I'm Vasco. I'm part of the team behind the first global Scrum Master Summit. If you're a Scrum Master, the Scrum Master Summit is a place to learn, to share, and to meet new friends. We will have lots of live sessions where you can meet and network with other Scrum Masters from all over the globe. So make sure you check it at bit.ly/SM Summit and the numeral 21. That's bit.ly/SMSUMMIT21. We have 7 amazing keynotes or more, as we are still organizing the conference as I record this, and 8 tracks that feature people like you and thought leaders sharing their insights and knowledge to help you become an awesome Scrum Master. So once again, check it out at bit.ly/SM Summit 21. That's all lowercase, all one word, SM Summit and the numeral 21. I'll see you on the virtual conference floor. All right, now on to the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Team Tuesday, this week with Wouter Gheysen. Hi, Wouter. Welcome back.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So, Wouter, on Tuesdays, we talk about the teams that self-destruct. But before we dive into that, do share with us, as a Scrum Master, what might have been one of the books that most influenced you?
Well, one of the books that most influenced me is Coaching Agile Teams by Lyssa Adkins. For many Scrum Masters, it shouldn't be any surprise. They should know the book, I think, because it's a book with very inspirational and practical tips. When I'm reading an Agile book, I really to have a book which is practical, that you, while you're reading, you can already think, okay, tomorrow I will try this in my team, or I will do this to improve the way of working. And coaching, is something like I already told you yesterday. One of the biggest things for me. I did my coaching course, and it's also one of the 8 stances of a good Scrum Master. And for me, coaching teams is the most important one. And the book of Lyssa really provides lots of tips and tricks to work with teams, to be a better facilitator, to improve retrospectives, and really learn how to deal with teams. And that's an amazing book that I can advise to everyone.
Absolutely. Is there a special tip, something that you read that kind of stuck with you since then and you've been using regularly that you want to share with our audience?
The format of retrospectives is something that I'm using bi-weekly, every sprint. And also the way how you can avoid, or not avoid, but deal with conflicts in a team. Typically, as a Scrum Master, especially the people who are like grow into the role, are a bit of do like or avoid conflicts. But conflicts are really good. Just as resistance, with conflicts you can also take your level or your team to a next level. But it's not easy to deal with conflicts, and the book of Lyssa gives some really great advice on it, on how to work with teams who are fighting or arguing with each other.
Absolutely. Great book indeed. So, Wouter, now we turn our attention to the teams and how sometimes they become their own worst enemies. I mean, we've all been there when teams slowly but surely start developing a pattern that may lead to that conflict you were just talking about, but definitely lead to a dynamic that breaks up the team, that breaks up trust, that may indeed end up tearing the team apart. So share that story with us, Wouter.
What I've seen regularly is when there is an agile transformation, what typically happens, especially in big corporations, there are lots of coaches from big consultancy firms who are training the people, coaching them on how to work in an agile way. And after a few months, those coaches leave, move to other teams or to other clients. And then you see that the good behavior slowly fades out. And a good example for that is daily stand-ups or retrospectives. When there's high pressure on delivery, it's tempting to skip a retrospective because we have to finalize that feature because it needs to go into production. Or why do we need 5 stand-ups a week? Let's do two of them, and then we can work that other time on delivery. And skipping one time, that's affordable. It can happen, but you see that there becomes a pattern of, okay, let's skip the retrospective. We don't need that. We are working already in a very good way. And we always give the same examples, the same issues come up during the retrospective, and nothing happens. So let's just skip it. And then you suddenly you see the old behavior from the old pattern from before the agile transformation coming back. And yeah, people are not communicating with each other anymore. Conflicts begin to rise because the alignment, transparency is gone. And then you see that the teams are very fast going back in an bad way of working without communication, lots of issues, complaints, and then they are really self-destructing themselves, while a few months before were working as a pretty good team.
What are the reasons that you've seen teams use? But I mean, because skipping one retrospective, I'm sure we've all done it. All Scrum Masters, well, at least most Scrum Masters out there have done that. Even Agile coaches have done that, because retrospective is not just one moment. It's also when we talk to the teams on a day-by-day basis. It's the conversations we have with them, the conversations they have with each other. So there's a lot we can learn just by collaborating and actively working together. But when this starts to become a pattern, like let's skip it, and then we skip it again, and then we skip it, we end up not having those retrospectives, maybe even just having the sprint planning, and that's it. Why does that develop in your experience in the teams you've worked with, Wouter?
One of the reasons is there's a high focus on delivery. You see it mainly in companies where they want to work in agile way, but the delivery is still there. Often what you also see is that the tribe management or the people providing work to the teams are old project managers, which still are focused on the delivery and the retrospectives and working together, communication. I'll arrange it as a project manager, just like I did before in the previous times. So they want to have more control. And also what another reason could be is they think from themselves, okay, we deliver, so we are good or great as a team. We don't need to improve, or we don't need retrospectives to improve our way of working. And everything goes well. Let's just skip those sessions, those retrospectives, stand-ups, and we work like we think would be the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen that kind of pattern as well, where there's just a rush to deliver. And then, of course, we forget that the process is there to help us do just that, to deliver. One of the things that I have seen work well is when teams get to a point where they can actually deliver constantly, at least every sprint, if not more often. Then the pressure on delivery is still there. That's not going away, but the pressure is not so big anymore, because if we don't deliver this sprint, then we deliver the next. So whatever is urgent always has a slot, if you will, in the delivery process. Have you seen the same dynamic, Wouter?
Yes. And then you need a really powerful product owner and scrum master to really guide the team, to take them back where to their responsibility. Because once they lose their responsibility or they lack responsibility, then you see that kind of pattern. Okay, if we don't make it now, we'll do it the next sprint. Nobody cares, because we have our release in 3 months. We'll be ready at that point. But it's always good as a scrum master to pull them back and point them to the fact why we work in sprints, why agile, why scrum principles are guiding, just to make sure that they can do delivery, but also in a way that they can learn, they can do self-organization, that they can have more fun as well, because scrum could be more fun as well, and still delivery. or still delivering. So that's also a big task of the Scrum Master, to really take them by the hand and put them back into the real behavior of the Agile mindset.
Absolutely. And you did mention something when you introduced your answer there about the collaboration between Scrum Master and Product Owner. And it's something that it's never too much to emphasize that is a key relationship, because the Scrum Master, no matter how much we try to help the team understand that the process is there to help them, if the product owner is pushing in another direction, i.e. delivery, and not planning, just do this story and then do this story and then do this story, of course, that's going to lead the team to forget about the process.
Yes, that's right. And it's, as a Scrum Master, it's always a way of challenging your team, challenging your product owner, but in the meantime, also provide psychological safety to make sure that they are comfortable, that they can do their work in a good way, but still also challenge them to deliver. So it's really a balancing job between the PO, between the team, where you have to push them, pull them back, and make sure that they feel fine in the end, but also can deliver, and also push them to deliver a bit further always.
Absolutely. And let's not forget that that's exactly why Scrum Masters are there, to help the team successfully and reliably and predictably deliver. So delivery also has to be at the center of our attention.
That's correct. And at one of my first assignments as a coach in a bank, we had lots of coaches, lots of room to experiment. And at that point, there was sometimes the feeling, okay, it's like a big play garden where we can do whatever we want. But at the end, after a few times, the metrics will be implemented and playtime is over, because the delivery was a bit forgotten. So it's always good to have that balance between a good team, which has lots of fun, while delivering.
Absolutely. While delivering. Well said. Thank you for that, Wouter.
Thank you. No problem.
Tuesday is Team Day here on the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast. But tomorrow we talk about something that goes beyond the work we do with the teams. We will talk about how to lead change and what our guests have learned from leading and participating in change programs during their career. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.